I'm here. Live and direct in the tube. No, I was looking for something, but I said I'll start like that. Because I found something to... okay, I'm here. Stop the volume on this side. Hold on. Yeah, we're back. We're back. Live in the tube. We are no more blind to the truth. And that's why we're going to keep on rising together. Some are delusional, but not all of us. You know, I think it's an era. It's the end of an era. It's the end of an era where we were blind to the truth. Oh, hi, Tom. Biggin. Yeah, it's you see, there's a big difference. Yesterday, I did a talk like this on the Truman Show channel, and there was like 20 something viewers live. Now and we're only me and Tone. That's cool. We have a private chat, Tone. Yeah. So so we are no more blind to the truth, because it's not only me seeing. You know, the important part, I think, in all this, it's not that we're gonna discover the old truth and start being delusional and say, but we are no more. You know, we are capable of lifting the veil of ignorance. We are capable of lifting the veil in a way. See a little bit further than our nose, than what we were originally. You know, before we awake to that stuff, many of us had many different experiences with life. Like some of us, it's tragedy that bring them here. Some to the awakening, to the fact that they want to realize themselves, you know, actualize themselves. What is an awakening exactly? What is an awakening? Good question. What's an awakening? An awakening. To me, it has to do a lot of being aware. Being aware. Being aware of a lot of stuff. Awareness precedes change. And if you're not aware, how do you want to change anything in your life if you're not even aware of the things that program you or hold you hostage in your life? Because many of us are kept just on the hostage from our own life, and we don't want to look outside the cage to try to create something that would be more of something that, you know, you can say that it's your life work, not just something that is not, you know, you want to build a strong foundation in your with your life, with your career, with your life, with everything that you do. Very important to have a strong foundation, because once you have the strong foundation, everything, you can everything you want. The foundation is strong, so nothing can. You know, I'm like a tree that cannot be shaken. Like the universe has shaken me, but now it's like I'm unshakable type of thing. Yeah, but that's what we have to become. We have to become unbreakable, and because this is what is going to be hard. Also, it's going to be long. That's a long journey. I'm talking here today, but we still have a long way to go. Still have my whole life to pass here. You know, so it's going to be a whole set of new experience all the time, new transformation, new. You know, every day is a new day, and every day I try to do something more to get more than yesterday. So it's going to be a constant transformation, a constant. You know, it's a. I decided to take a big ride, so it's not to say, okay, I'm going to go so far and stop there. You know, I haven't came that far just to stop where I am. So there's a lot of temptation around us that's gonna want us to give up, to just give up on our dream. Impatience is one of it. You know, we become very impatient with a lot of stuff, and that is one of the reason we begin with impatience. At some point in our lives, we have all lost ourselves with our patience was tested. Even if we view ourselves as a kind of loving parent, when the children ignore our fifth request to quiet down, it is easy to explode in anger. Should our new business not succeed as fast as we wish, it is easy to quit the pursuit of our dream. It is easy to quit. It's easier to quit than keep going. Easier to quit than keep going. That's why not many people go after their dream and stuff in life, because it's very what's hard is not necessary. What's hard is the beginning, because the more you go, easier it become. But what's hard to keep is the vision. Is not taking the action, because at one point it becomes an habit. It's an habit for me, but it's to keep the vision. You know, if I can keep that vision and always align myself with that vision, and also create in alignment with that vision, I should stay on my path. I should not divert from my path and suffer from all kinds of stuff like impatience. And, you know, it's all about having patience and consistent action. So I know that if you know what you need, if you know what kind of tool you need to go after your stuff, it's more reassuring when bad stuff come along the way, or tribulation come, you're equipped to face them. That's my point. Sorry. Yeah, lack of patience has made many good men mean scores of would-be success failures, and countless good ideas abandoned just as they were about to become real. The moment you're gonna, like, if you start something, the moment that you want to quit, this is the moment where you have to push further. This is the moment where you have to take it to the next level, because this is really a crucial moment. That point in your journey where you're going to want to quit, because there's going to be time where you're going to want to quit, because it's nothing comes to fruition, or there is no instant gratification, or, you know, you're stuck in some kind of a, stuck. So you think there's no way out. But there's always a way out. No matter what, there's always a solution to be found. I've had problems in my life. I've had stuff happening to me. I never looked at it in with panic. With panic, I always use patience and analyze. And there's going to be stuff happening to you. Life is a long journey. We all have stories. But I survived my worst moment. So why not share them? Why not share my story, my experience, my life? It could inspire others. This is what we need. The world is madly in need for inspiration. So, yeah, that's what I think. So, lack of patience, eh? Free and conscious people develop a high degree of emotional intelligence that alerts them when they become too hurried, impatient, or irritable. But you have to be conscious for that. Becoming conscious is not only knowing that the earth is flat. It's a lot more than that. We know that. Like, some people think that because suddenly, they have discovered a bit of a reality, false reality that we live in. That is the whole thing, but it's much more than that. Now we must master ourselves, master our mind, master our emotion, master everything, master every aspect of our life. Self-mastery is the key. And this is where we're going here, for sure. Self-mastery. And this is what I do take this teaching to another level, because this is exactly what I do with my life. Every time I become hurried, impatient, or irritable, there's always a little click in my head that says, okay, why am I reacting instead of responding? Often this is what happens. We just react. So, I think we are capable of we can begin to develop this skill by reflecting on times we were impatient. Yeah. Look at the times you were impatient and why you were impatient. And you're going to find a lot of answers there. Often it's like fear. Why were you impatient? Why did you have fear? Same thing. When we look to our future, let us imagine how we can wish to be remembered. The good parent want their children to say, my parent was patient and loving with me. Every children, this is very important because your children are going to remember the way you treat them, the way you act with them. And if my children can say my father, my parent were patient and loving with me, this is wonderful. This is what I want to show to my children: more love, more overstanding. This is what I want to show them, and this way I can I can impact this world, because now I break the chain in the family. The perpetuated loop of nonsense that's been happening in the family got broken. Yeah, because one of us woke up. So now, yeah, for sure, I teach everything to everybody around me, for sure. And I tell them I like having conversation with my children. They can hear my voice. They can hear my voice very, very easily. Sometimes a bit much. Sometimes a bit too much. But I don't think there's such thing as too much. And there's never enough teaching, never enough stuff that you can talk about to your children and elevate their consciousness. They're pure love, pure. So you have to, and this is what's happening. The world today is parents are teaching their fears instead of showing what's possible to their children. So the children end up being lost in society and end up adopting the default state and never living their dreams or living to the magnificence that they've been put here to accomplish. Anyway, that's clear to me that if I tell my children what's possible for them instead of teaching them fears, they will face the world a lot more boldly. It's because you want to face the world boldly. You don't want to face the world with the head between your legs. You want to stand proud. You want to stand tall. You want to stand strong. This is Babylon. Eh? Babylon's wicked. Eh? If you let it get to you, it's going to get to you for sure. There's all kinds of stuff outside to come and take us out of the reality, out of the reality. But again, what reality do you really perceive? That's another question. But yeah, impatience is one of them. We must become very, very patient, and especially with the people around us. Me, this is what I work on very hard, because people on YouTube can remember me. That's fine, but I have children, and I want them to remember me as a loving father, as a patient father, as a teaching father, as a man of wisdom, and as a man of this is what I want. Hold on. Yeah, I can be whatever I want here on YouTube. I can tell you whatever I want, portray whatever guy you want to see or you think I am. But what really matters is what I am with the people around me, what I do in my everyday life when that camera is off. How do I behave? Behave. I don't like that word, but how do I conduct myself with the people around me? Am I patient, loving, understanding their concerns, their emotions, am I part of their life, or am I just secluded YouTubers that make video on YouTube? It's give attention to our loved ones is very, very important, very important. And that's what a lot of children lack, because parents are very hypocrite. Parents are very hypocrite, and that's not the kind of parent I want to be. I want to be a parent that I don't want to be one of those hypocrite parents, like, the temptation of disappointment. Many people break from their integrity because of disappointment. Things don't turn out as they desire, or their ego flames and fumes, causing them to break commitments to themselves and others. That's what happened. We break our commitment, and we think that because things don't turn out right away, it will never turn out. Like I don't even put ad on my video. And I get nothing from this except growing inside of my whole self. So it's very yeah. So if I wait for YouTube to come and give me a check at the end of the month, I might wait a very long time. I'm going to be very disappointed. So also, we get disappointed because we expect sometimes too much. Sometimes we expect from other people. We expect other people to just cheer with us when we find something, when we find a great news, when we find a greater meaning of life. We think people's going to cheer with us and going to be happy. And no, it's your journey, my friend. Some walk you have to take alone. Yeah. Some walks you're going to have to take alone, no matter what. Not everybody's going to want to walk with you, especially in that truth or lifting the veil. I prefer lifting the veil, Pat. Not everyone will want to, because people like the fake reality. This is what happened. People like the fake stuff. People like being fake. They don't like being real anymore. They prefer being fake. So once you start being real, you look like the one that is fake to the fake people because they're fake. So they see everything fake. That's what it is. That's the world. What you want me to tell you? Tell me that, prove me the opposite, that not everything is fake these days. Come on. This, and I'm not even talking about the international swimming station. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about the people, especially the people. So fake. We all live a lie. We all live a lie, and we're not even capable to see, to lift the veil to see the kind of lie we live. Because the veil is very, very heavy on us. Some of us will never be able to lift that veil. But if you stay with me, if you hang out with me for long enough, I'll brainwash you into thinking for yourself. So we're good. Stay tuned and. But many of you don't need me to think for yourself. Many of you here this morning already on the path to self-mastery. And many of you here. Rockin'. Yeah, Rockin' is here. Wisdom, Tone Overdrive. I saw Cat before, Cat Leslie. Big up, guys. Big up. What Wisdom says? Yes, brother, parents are showing their fear to their child. The program of fear that has been created by religion long time ago here in Quebec after 3 and 4 generations of fear. Well, you live in fear. Exact. We have to go back to the original state, which is love, because love is not a product of yourself. You are love. Exactly. It's just to actualize yourself. Just to actualize yourself. It's not to go get something external of yourself or start freaking out. It's just to be yourself. You are love. What's the problem with that? Many people seems to have a lot of problem with when it starts. They have no problem like, I love you, I love you, I love you. But when it starts, could you be love? Don't let them fool you. Don't let them school you. They're going to try to fool you in every aspect of your life. If you don't, this world is so strange. You think the world is messed up, my friend? Wait until you wake up. This is what Tupac Shakur said. When I saw that quote, I'm like, and that happened. I saw that quote like 2-3 months after I started discover that old stuff about the world. I'm like, wow. Sometimes we think that the world is messed up, but it's so messed up. So much confusion. It's like it's not even messed up. It's a mental genocide. It's a mental genocide. That's what it is. And the world, the masses are totally unconscious, deeply unconscious because they're even, look, we are so unconscious, far down that path of unconsciousness that we are eating flesh. Eating flesh now. Think about it. I don't want to start propaganda on vegan. To me, it's past vegan. It's past vegan. It's past the lies. It's past the truth. It's past all that. Forget about those words. It's a mental genocide, and it's a evilist, satanic ritual that we do for them. That we do for them, and we don't even realize the harm that is caused behind all this. It's the harm and the suffering. These animals needs us. They need us. They don't need us to kill them and torture them. They need us to nurture them, to help them live in harmony. You know, when they get hurt, we're there to help them. This is why we're here for. We are earth guardians. We have lost our way so much. Sometimes it makes me so sad. You know, I sometimes I hold myself from not coming here and cry because, like, now I get emotional because this is so crazy. I live in a world that everything is being destroyed. It's terrible. Everybody is lost their way so much. And with the animals, it makes me so sad when I see animals suffer. They have a conscience. Do they see you? They can hear you. They can. We're so far down the path of retardation. It's insane. It's becoming insane. Sometimes it's very frightening to see how we can't even ask question of you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Just that the meat eating is most people just see it as something that is normal. It's been done from generation to generation. You know, it's normal. But wow. Me, it's not necessarily that piece of meat or that, it's the suffering attached to it and the nonsense and the killing and the torture. And you know, you are part of it. When you eat it, you are part of the cycle. This is what's happening. This is why I'm telling you it's very important to be conscious of that part. We don't need this to survive. Come on, there's all kinds of stuff in nature. There are many fruit, veggies, grain, and we need to kill other sentient being to live here. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't even make sense. I don't know why. I know why people are unconscious. Yesterday, I go to the grocery store. I see two people walking out. You know, I stared at them. With Gavin, I was looking at. I said, Gavin, I have to take a break. I said, look at these two people. They're getting out the store with 2 beer, a pack of hot dog buns, a pack of hot dog, McCain frozen French fries with all kinds of fucking bullshit on this stuff. And that's going to be their supper. I said, you see, Gavin, that's how far down we're gone down the path of retard. And you know what they put in hot dogs? Have you ever checked on YouTube what they put in hot dogs, how they make it? And you're eating that fucking shit. It's insane. You're so far down the path of retardation when you eat hot dogs. Hot dogs are probably one of the worst. One of the worst. They put all this crap in it. All this crap is in there. And you feed your body that stuff. And you think you're going to be enlightened, a sentient being, enlightened sentient being that is capable of majestic stuff here by eating hot dogs and pizza and low vibration food. I don't get it. I don't get it. To me, just the food is such a traumatizing experience here. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, Bob Marley, Could You Be Loved? Yeah. But we don't have to judge the others because there's only one consciousness. So if we judge the others, we're still judging ourselves and we are not on the path of being free. But eating flesh or not, is it still from the tree of good and evil? To me, eating flesh is it depends. It depends. Like I say, if you're stuck maybe in the wood or something, and that's the. But even that, there's all kinds of plans. So I don't say I have to kill a bear or a deer or any animals to eat. Like first of all, I have to cook the meat. So if I have to cook it, it's an indication right there. But and it's not really of a. You have to be to say it's a choice. You have to become conscious also. Once you become conscious of the earth and all the bad stuff attached to it behind it, and you start realizing that was my breaking point. That was my breaking point to stop eating it. That was like, okay, there's so much earth attached to it, so much nonsense, so much killing and torture, and I'm part of this. Like, and also all the research I've done, and it makes me realize that I was totally on the wrong path by eating flesh for sure. So I stopped eating flesh. I feel a lot better. First of all, I lost 100 pounds. I lost 100 pounds. Never felt so good in my life. So for sure, we don't have to judge others. For sure. But I think it's more. At one point, we have to speak our mind also. It's okay not to judge others, but I will not take white love. There's animal suffering, there's killing, bloodshed all over the earth, and people are eating that flesh like nothing. So I'm supposed to not say nothing. So I don't care anymore. You don't have to like it. You don't have to be here. You don't have to like it. So I speak my mind. I will not. I will not speak what people want me to say. I'll speak my mind, and I take your comment very inspiring, very, but I cannot like me. I see things the way I see them, and that's why it's important to share our opinion because the way I see the world is the way I see it. The way you see it is the way you see it. It's very important to come together and share our opinions for sure. But don't judge others. Yeah, for sure, don't judge others. It's very important. Compassion and love is very important, but at one point, we have to realize also that these people, that's not really what they're showing compassion and love, especially when it comes to animal killing and stuff. So it just make me think sometime of I don't know. Sometimes things I have to say and has to get out of me. That's all. I won't come here. These are very subject in a way people don't want to hear about. People prefer put their head in the sand when it comes to flesh eating and flat earth. That's two things you can't talk about. People get very irritated, very because that takes them out their comfort zone again because they're probably still flesh eaters and swine eaters or whatever you want to call it, and to secure themselves in their little thinking and their little world, they're gonna call you crazy or all kinds of shit. So I don't care. I see the world the way I see it, and that's what I come here to do, to share you the way I see it. And to me, there's really something really it's more than really wrong. That's why when I say, it's we can take white gloves because there's something really, come on, I see my brothers and sisters suffering big time. Suffering from lack of consciousness, lack of anyway, that's the way I see it. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me on everything. Sometimes there's things, not that I regret things I said or things I've done here live on YouTube, but for sure, like that's what it is about, to stop running away from yourself. Stop running away from yourself. Because this is what we do constantly in our life. Constantly running away from ourselves, running away from the truth, running away from the truth. That's a great saying because we are the truth. So it's really we're running away from the truth because we are the truth. We are the world. We are the world. Yeah, it's up to us to wake up and create reality. Yeah, the temptation of desperation. The most predictable moments when people break their integrity are when they are desperate, on the brink of ruin. Yeah. The business person nearing bankruptcy decides to do something dishonest to make a fast but dirty buck. The person starving for love compromises herself to gain acceptance and affection. Yeah. We have all made bad decisions when we were needy. So let us remember them and look for patterns. This is very important. Looking for patterns. Because that's what will prevent you from doing it again. You know? What point of need drove us to bad behavior? How did we think about others, the world, and ourselves in those unhealthy and irresponsible moments? Unhealthy and irresponsible moment. We're all so very irresponsible. Terrible. Terrible. We don't even take responsibility even for the health of our children. That's another way we have signed out of our lives. You know, the health of your children is your responsibility. So what do you feed your children? Pogos, cereals, milk, meat, all kinds of low vibration food. So they end up being a robot in society like everybody else. Or do you feed them proper food? Like you give them the chance to have a little bit more electricity up there. Or it's just, people sometimes wonder why their children are constantly getting sick. What are you feeding them? Look at what you feed your children. This is very important. Very important. Don't worry, Rockin. We all make bad decisions, man. We all make bad decisions, man. Don't freak out with that. That's my advice. Work on it. That's it. It's just to work on it. I still myself have to do things to work on myself a lot. I haven't reached full consciousness and state of bliss. Whoa, I still have a lot of work to do on myself, but I'm doing it. I'm working on it. This is what is encouraging also. You might have, if you're at least capable to recognize what needs to be changed, slowly you will change it in your life. It doesn't need to be something that you freak about. But if you're aware, and slowly it's going to register in your brain, and you slowly, this is how it happened for me. It didn't happen drastically from one day to another. It went gradually. Gradually, I started to realize this was no good for me. This was no good. I was cooking with this, but it was no good. Or using that oil, it was really bad for me. Or this, gradually, I made not a diet, but I made something that is more sustainable for my energy than low vibration food. Because low vibration food is, for sure. But yeah, we all make a bad decision. Don't worry about it. That's life. That's life, but also the important is to harness that power of decision. If we don't take decision, nothing will ever happen. So harness the power of decision, very important. We all have made bad decisions. We were needy. So let us remember to look for patterns. What point of need drove us to bad behavior? How did we think about others, the world, and ourselves? How could we have behaved differently in ways that would have supported our faster rise and a higher sense of integrity? Higher sense of integrity. What are we committed to in similar situation in the future? This is it. It's to work on it constantly. Temptation of aggression. People are often at their absolute worst when responding to others' aggression. If bullied, they become violent. If their spouse is pushing an idea that they dislike, they fly into rage. Yeah. A lot of people are like that. When others are aggressive, that is the time to be hyper aware of our reactions. Yeah. Hyper aware. When others push too hard, let us simply accept they are acting from a place of ego and often ignorance. This is why I don't react and comment. I told you yesterday. You see, I did a chat yesterday on the Truman Show. Yeah, there was like 20 something viewers live at one point. Here it's I think it's more private here. It's more in between us. Yeah, 7, 8 viewers live, but it's okay. We don't do that for the size of the audience anyway. We do that for if we can all stick together and really elevate our consciousness on this beautiful plain earth all together. And I have given up on waking up the masses anyway. They have made it clear they prefer to be entertained. So if the masses prefer to be entertained, we'll concentrate on the mind-like people and the people that want to receive teaching or wake up or whatever. Put down their ego and yeah. So the temptation of aggression. Yeah. No goods comes from becoming bitter or violent. No. The world will push at us and invert us and seek our conformity and obedience. People will be rude and mean and absent minded. So let us choose a higher road, maintaining our values and standing for peace, even in the midst of what feels like war. Over time, we will always find that patience shall overcome aggression and love shall overcome hate. Yeah. If we take a big overgrown and we cut it on the smaller particles, you will always see the reflection of the big picture in that small piece. So this is why forgiveness is the key. A big hologram. It's 5:30 a.m. here. Everyone is asleep. Oh, you're on the West Coast then, Rockin'. You're on the USA West Coast, I guess. 3 hours behind me. In California? Somewhere like that. So the temptation of earth vigilance is also required when we are hurt or experiencing any negative emotion. Otherwise, we can become the woman who feels wrong and becomes spiteful even though she does not see herself as a spiteful human. The man who physically attacks another person because of a verbal insult made him feel small. The leader who decides to derail an entire project because he was embarrassed. Ego. Yeah. This an area in need of examination. Let us ask, how do I usually act when I am hurt? Very, very important. Maturity. Maturity insists we recognize that feeling hurt requires the same thing as feeling happy. The same thing as feeling happy. Oh, you're in BC, Canada? Oh, Rockin's in BC. Cool. My friend from Canada. I'm in you know me, I'm in Quebec. Near Montreal. Near Montreal. I went to BC. I passed 2 years there in BC. Went pretty much all over. Great, great. I love British Columbia. What I love about British Columbia was the island of Vancouver, Nanaimo, Tofino, Long Beach, Kelowna. I love Kelowna. All the places. I went to Whistler, all those places there around Vancouver. But it was a great experience. That's probably one of the best experience of my life, Vancouver. An experience that made me grow a lot, that helped me become the man I am today. Kim is here. Big up, Kim. Love, love, love. Yeah, it made me grow a lot. Probably helped me become the man I am today. For sure, I'm convinced that my experience in Vancouver, because I decided to leave at the 18-year-old and go to BC. And the goal was to go there to work, yeah, for sure. But we didn't end up finding work right away, so it was a bit hard at the beginning. I told you a bit of that story in other videos, the Vancouver story, but it was great. I have only good memories from BC. I want to go back also. I want to go back because it's the place. It's the place. There's good herb also, very good herb. The weed in British Columbia is something. British Columbia, I say, is probably the skunk. Or BC Buds. I think it's called BC Buds or the skunk. The skunk that I smoked skunk in Vancouver, and I'm not joking. At one point, we were like living on an apartment. We were like six or seven and a 2.5 with cockroach in Vancouver. So there's cockroach almost. I don't know if they're still the same, but there was a lot in many buildings. So that was a bonus on your rent, the cockroach. So yeah, and I smoked the skunk, and I thought there was a skunk in my apartment. I got out the window because the weed smells so much the same as a skunk that just piss. Same thing. Same thing. So I got out and it smells so strong. I can remember the smell and the taste to that day, and it's been years and years. I can remember the taste in my mouth of that weed. It's very good herb in British Columbia. All over Canada, it's legal here in Canada. We're not like other countries. We're a bit more advanced on the marijuana side. I think we're advancing faster than other nations or countries. We are on a very yeah. Oh yeah, man, the skunk. I still remember to that day the taste of that stuff. Oof. Yeah, something good, and it's so fresh. It's always fresh and juicy, and I know the weed in British Columbia. I'm telling you, here we have good stuff in Montreal, in Quebec. We're very good for that, in Ontario also, in the East Canada, but in the West, it's something. I want to go back there just for the weed sometime, just to taste the skunk, the real Vancouver skunk, and the BC buds, and now it's something special. Vancouver, every place in Canada, you can access medical marijuana for with a prescription, so it's very. But not only that, you can also I don't know anybody that doesn't smoke weed here. like like here in Canada, I don't know too many people that don't smoke weed. It's everybody pretty much people that are very hypocrite with it, for sure. But I know a lot of people that smoke. Like I think it's becoming more and more a hobby more than alcohol. People realize that alcohol is there to kill the spirit, while marijuana will not kill your spirit. It will enlighten your brain even more, your brain cell. It would give you electricity. Take the sativa. Look at me, what I take in the morning. I told you, do I look stoned out of my ass here? I took my sativa oil before. Like maybe it's just starting to kick in really now, but I take my sativa every morning. That's like coffee for me. And yeah. Yeah, non-smokers are rare. This is the thing. Non-smokers are rare. Like people, also the pressure on us is more and more like, come on, we're all on the survival mode. Unless you're rich and you have a lot of money, you're on survival. Like me, it's survival mode. We're surviving in Babylon. We're not really living and experiencing. I'm not really living and experiencing life, yes, yet to the fullest. I'm only on YouTube. That's the thing. That's not it. I told you all the time. That's not it. To me, I want to travel. I want to, but this is what the prison we're in, and we have to break free. We have to break free. That's why I'm here. That's why all together we can all eventually break free from that Babylonian prison of and liberate ourselves and travel and travel the world. Yeah. Yeah. It's possible. And non-smokers, yeah, non-smokers are very few now. I think also this is what I was saying. Alcohol. I can read you something on alcohol that I put yesterday on Facebook. Someone posted something, and I'm gonna read it to you because it's yeah. Alcohol. The word alcohol derives from the Arabic term alcohol, which means body eating spirit. Also, is the origin of the term gout. In alchemy, alcohol is used to extract the soul essence of an entity. That's why. That's why when you want to extract stuff for essential oil or cannabis, you want to extract the THC, the molecules. You can use there's other stuff you can use than alcohol, but alcohol is used for that. Many people will use like 96 proof or something like that, 99 proof, or I don't know if you can get that, but yeah, so the alcohol will come and kill your spirit for sure. Hence, it's used in extracting essence for essential oils and the sterilization of medical instrument. By consuming alcohol into the body, it in effect extract the very essence of the soul, allowing the body to be more susceptible to neighboring entities, most of which are of low frequencies. That is why when people black out, they don't remember what happened. Essentially, their body was possessed by another entity. That happened to me once in my life. Twice. Twice I lost. Twice I blacked out because of alcohol. And I never took it again after. The second time, that was it. First time I blacked out from alcohol, and I'm going to tell you that story. It was something very frightening. I remember to that day. I was 17-year-old, and I went into a bar. Yeah, it was illegal. Who cares? But I went into a bar and I drank all kinds of stuff. I think I drank. When you're young, that's it. You get influenced. You get trapped in Babylon. You're gonna get trapped. All kinds of stuff is there to come and take you away from your mission, especially when you're young. So, but anyway, I ended up, yeah, drinking a lot of bad stuff. Like I think it was 16 big beer and 10 ounces of tequila or something like that, and I ended up in the hospital. In the hospital with the stomach pump and everything. And me up is when I saw my mother. When I saw my mother was working in that hospital that night. Listen to that. My mother is working in that hospital that night, and I'm in the emergency. Someone goes and get her upstairs. They're telling her, your son is in the emergency. You should go see him. And she thinks she's gonna find me bleeding or something. No, I'm drunk dead, drunk dead on the table. And as soon as I heard her voice, I woke up and I got out of there and I wanted to walk outside, and that was it. But we have to be careful with alcohol. This is where I realized that I could have died that night. I could have died. You can die from those coma. So it's very and I totally blacked out. I don't remember anything. So it's like my body was possessed by another entity. This is what it is. They know that. They know that's why alcohol is legal. That's why alcohol is legal, and marijuana is still not too legal in many countries, because they know it has probably the reverse effect of worst night of my life were all whiskey nights. Exact, man. It's the worst. And we know that often, because it's a struggle, Babylon. We all fell at one point for some kind of temptation that is in here, and alcohol is one of them. Many of us, like, I still like beer. I don't discard that. I don't drink beer. I drink one beer once in a while, but I'm not like I don't have a bottle of whiskey or stuff like that hanging around. I don't have spirits and stuff and spiritueux hanging around. And no. But I might drink a beer once in a while. Yeah, for sure. I love the taste of beer. But I need one beer. I don't need to drink a case. But before, when I was younger, it was the case. It was the case. No, it was the case with the friends, and we get influenced a lot by peers around us, people that want us to adapt their behavior and their so. But yeah, I had that episode, and I had another one when I got married. Yeah, when I got married, I passed out again. They brought me for my enterrement de vie de garçon. Comment t'appelles ça en anglais? What is the name? When you get married, they bring you the stag party. Is that it? What is it? You guys are gonna tell me in the chat anyway. When you get married and they bring the guy to get drunk. What is it called? I have it on the. Sometimes I don't remember words like that, but it's okay. Anyway, you know what I mean. So that night too, I freaking passed out. I crashed inside a tent in the house at my wife's parents. I didn't even remember. Yeah, stag. Yeah, stag party. That's it. Stag party. That's it. And there, oh man, I lost it again. That was it. That was the night where I said, okay, that's not for me. First of all, I don't like the feeling of alcohol too much. Like I said, one beer is good for me, but past two beer, it's like, no, I don't like the feeling of alcohol. I prefer the feeling of marijuana. It's more uplifting, more better vibe, a better yeah. No, I stick to marijuana now. I don't drink anymore. But I never been a drinker. I never had a problem with alcohol. Never been a hard stuff drinker or stuff like that. Never drank hard spirits. I was just beer and no, never really drank rum and coke and those stuff. No. Never been. But beer, I love beer and I do. I still do. Still do. I love beer for sure, but it's not the priority in my life. My priority is not to open a beer every day. But for sure, I love the taste. I like to go with friends out and have a beer. That I love it. I love it socially, drinking socially, but responsibly. Like one beer. I have one, and that's it. And then I move on. But it's we cannot. Also, what is very bad is when the point where you get drunk and pass out, and you lose you lose if I drink a beer and I don't lose my faculty, or if I don't lose my sense of reasoning, that's good for me. But it's when I start losing my sense of reasoning and I cannot think properly because of alcohol, there's a problem. Yeah, I stopped drinking because hangovers became near death experience. Yeah, sometimes we need a wake up call, man. Listen, we all do. We all have our breaking point at one point where enough is enough, and we must take control of our behaviors, of our action, become conscious of what we're doing, and realizing that we are killing ourselves. That we are killing ourselves, and life is worth living. Life is worth living. So why kill ourselves? But we are often on self-destruction mode. Self-destruction because of misalignment. Because of misalignment. I know why today I've done that. I was misaligned with my true nature, with who I was. So the moment you start aligning yourself, all your frequency, you start to re-becoming the person that you were meant to be here, and you don't let yourself being possessed by other entities with stuff like alcohol or other stuff. This is where I think enlightenment probably begins, or I don't know. So, guys, I'm letting you go. I'll be back another now. Great day today. It's a bit a rainy day, but the good weather is coming. It's not very cold in Quebec today. It's be what they say. Let's check what they say. Yeah. How much it is in Vancouver? How is it in Vancouver? Is it still Oh, you see, it's 2 degrees in 2 degrees in Saint Martin. Yeah, in Montreal, 2 degrees. So the good weather is coming. We'll be out soon. Thanks for the morning chat. Big up everyone, and don't give up. Don't give up. Oh yeah, give up. We have to give. It's about giving, and we have to be up. So I don't like that word. Don't give up. You know, it's all about giving. It's all about going up, 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 uplifting. So don't give up. Why? I have to find a synonym for don't give up. There's words I can't say no more. They just don't pass. You see, every time I say them, I get cut live on YouTube. Whoa, I don't like that word. So it's just, this is how you redo the blueprint of your mind by exercise, constant exercise, and working at your stuff and working on yourself. This is what we have to master: is ourself. Master our minds. He's out. Rise and shine.